Every day, we strive to preserve traditions that have spanned generations.
Around every turn of the bayou, Mother Nature reveals unique people, places, and experiences.
And the bounty of animals and fish. Well, in Louisiana, we just call that lagniappe. I'm Don Dubuque.
I'm Chris LeCoq.
I'm Captain Martha Spencer. Join us as we document the adventure,
Sportsmanship,
and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Welcome to Bayou Wild TV, and wow, another year has gone by so quickly. 11 seasons.
And it was a fun one this year, too.
It was, and it just seems like every year goes by, we keep finding new things to do.
Well, if you missed any of them, we want to remind you about some of the shows we enjoyed bringing to you the most.
Twas the night before deer hunting went all through the shack. Now the hunter was asleep yet, they had gear to unpack. Bring in the lanterns, put some wood on the fire. It's now 10 o'clock and soon time to retire. Roll out the sleeping bags, your bunk is up here. Don't snore too loud, you'll scare away the deer. Before I knew it, the alarm rang with a clatter. Someone sprang from a bunk only to fall down the ladder. The coffee was brewing and eggs in the pan. I woke up the others and yelled, "Let's get hunting, man." Hey Josh, hey Bobby, hey Clinton, hey Sam and Chuck, wake up you lazy bones, let's go get that big buck. So with long johns and wool socks on, I head to my stand, hoping soon a buck will appear just like I planned. It's cold out, I'm shivering, I think it might snow. After 4 cups of coffee, now I gotta go. It's 10 hours later, I ain't seen nothing all day. I thought I heard a twig snap, so I hope and I pray. And what before my bleary eyes should appear but a 14-point rack on the head of that deer. I raise up my rifle and sight him in quick, give the trigger a pull, and hear nothing but click. I pull it again as fast as I'm able, then realize my shells are still on the table. Well, the buck heard me swear, and with a flick of his tail, he gave a quick snort and disappeared down the trail. And I wearily exclaimed as it ran out of sight,
"I'll see you next year, Cher. You got lucky tonight."
Closed captioning is brought to you by Global Outdoors. Find your next adventure and share your experiences with others by downloading the Global Outdoors mobile app or visiting globaloutdoors.com.
Welcome to White Oak Estate and Gardens, home of my distillery on Jones Creek. In the grist mill, corn is ground, then poured into the copper stills, filled with water and yeast added. Days later, still water bourbon is placed into charred oak barrels where it ages. Likewise, raw brown sugar and water blend to create our still water rum. Purchase these boutique vintages beginning December the 1st exclusively at White Oak.
Become a supporter of the Louisiana Wildlife Agents Association today by visiting supportlwaa.org. Browse the selection of exclusive gear, including t-shirts in a variety of colors and styles, plus hats, koozies, and more. Gear up today and support the LWAA. This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
We're in our new season of Bayou Wild TV, and that means new merchandise. Head on over to BayouWildTV.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and performance shirts, featuring scenes taken directly from our shows.
Welcome back to Bayou Wild TV as we take a look back at the year 2023 of some of the features we presented.
You know, Don, most of the time when we go out on hunting and fishing adventures, we're hunting something with a heartbeat, but not on this episode.
Well, hunting for mushrooms was a lot of fun. Pretty tasty ending, too, on this one.
Yeah, we went out and learned a bunch about mushrooms, which ones not to touch, which ones skillet up really tasty, and what time of year to find them at.
Yeah, you can take a look at this feature and enjoy it, and go out and maybe harvest some of those mushrooms yourself.
There's all kinds of mushrooms in here, especially in the summertime. A couple days after a good rainfall, they start to grow and they'll last about, depending on species, anywhere from a couple days to a week or two before they start to deteriorate.
Found some chanterelles.
What we got here, we have bagged the elusive chanterelle mushroom. Not really so elusive, but very good to eat. Once we got them going in there, we cook them till they get a little tender.
Earlier this summer, Diving for a Cause once again returned to Venice. It's a bunch of divers from across the country. This was one of my favorite trips because all of the fish harvested in these spearfishing trips went back to the needy. So Diving for a Cause blends two wonderful things, charity and a really fun activity, spearfishing. And when I found out about the organization, it was really eye-opening to see how many people around the world took their passion for spearfishing and put it towards a good cause. The group travels around the world. They are self-funded, they're a 501c3, and they keep enough fish for dinner, but everything after that goes to the less fortunate, which is a really special thing, especially with the abundance of what we have in the Gulf of Mexico and other places around the world.
You know, one of the fish a lot of people always ask me about is the flounder, and it's been in the news lately too. Well, earlier this summer, we found a flounder guru who took us to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and it don't get no easier than this, catching flounder.
Let's go see them flatfish.
That's what I'm talking about. We'll stand up action. No move. Yep. Oh, boom. Yep. On that Berkeley dog jerk bait. Yeah.
Well, there's the reds and the Jackson by the beach, see them?
That's it, man. It's on like Donkey Kong.
What a fish. Beautiful. There we go. They are escape artists. Make sure you use a net when you're catching flounders. Coming up, Mississippi Gulf Coast flounders.
It's called Gyotaku, and it was originated in Japan back in the 17th century as simply a means of documentation to record the size and species of a fisherman's catch. I think the first documented Gyotaku print was a red snapper. It was an emperor that went out fishing, and he had his servants on the boat with rice paper, and I don't know what this would be called in Japanese because Gyotaku literally means fish rubbing. So whatever alligator is, that's what this would be called, but it's a rubbing, you know, it's a nature rubbing. Each sunset and each day in the marsh and, you know, each alligator, I get excited over the details and the, you know, intricacies over each hunt or each printing. Like I said before, the alligator's DNA it's on that canvas forever.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Delta Marina is Plaquemines Parish fishing one-stop. Get live bait, fuel, ice, tackle, and marine supplies. Then launch into the world's most productive saltwater fishing. Return to the fishing cleaning station, relax in first-class cabins overlooking the bayou, all in Delta Marina's safety video-monitored parking lot. Need a fishing charter guide? Delta Marina can hook you up. Cook your catch in your kitchenette or dine in the upstairs restaurant. Visit Delta Marina for a day or a week. Stop in just off Highway 11 down Rosemary Drive in Empire. Visit thedeltamarina.com.
Holidays are time for family gatherings and family feasts. King Cooker has everything from complete turkey frying cookers that can handle up to a 20-pound turkey and all the accessories to King Cooker's own Cajun seasonings and injectors to make your holiday bird the life of the party. Find a retailer near you or go to kingcookerwithak.com and use discount code DDKK23 and save on your King Cooker turkey fryer. That's kingcooker.com, discount code DDKK23.
In Louisiana, food brings everyone together. These are the flavors that make friends out of total strangers. The flavors that remind you of home. It's the meals you crave, that take time, that show love. Because in Louisiana, we cook. And we know that when we come together to cook and eat, life gets better. So pull up a chair, leave room for seconds, and pass a good time. Because life needs Louisiana flavor, baby.
With my daddy, we grew up fishing. We have a camping lake, we fished. We never really hunted, so it never really stuck for me to just want to go hunting. But then he come along, and I want to go hunting. And it just kind of grew.
These people don't have the opportunity that we have, and to give them that opportunity is real special to us, providing that opportunity for them to get the kill of their lifetime.
I was just waiting, and then we just saw 2 deer. One was a big one and one was little. Then I wanted to wait until we saw another one. Then I wanted to shoot that one.
I think I shot her.
Welcome back to Bayou Wild TV. You know, we spent a lot of time in the woods in the summer months this year.
Yep, and we were looking for some of those slithery critters.
We learned that most of them are our friends. These slithery snakes, we went out into the swamp and got some identification on them.
Very interesting family we went with, too. The family that hunts snakes together
stays together.
That's why these are my favorite water snakes, is these broad-banded water snakes. They have gorgeous bellies.
Got him! I think it's a garter. We was never really exposed to the fear of snakes when we were younger, so we just hung around them and caught them all the time. They were like friends.
This is a western mud snake. This is a native species, Louisiana. Absolutely gorgeous snake. These have got smooth scales. You notice how much shinier it is compared to the other ones?
When I was growing up, I was very afraid of snakes. My family didn't really like snakes. But just the more I learned, the less I was afraid, and that's kind of why we do what we do.
We've had field trips at our house for our school where we just go and show everyone our snakes.
We're often here at White Oak Estate and Gardens for cooking segments, but also occasionally we bring guests here.
We had a very special guest that came here for the boucherie. And you know, most Miss Louisiana, Miss Universe, Miss States are very talented. They dance, they sing. This one knows how to shoot a bow. We're right on the border of Orleans and St. Bernard Parish, right there by the banks of Bayou Bienvenue, and we're out here bow fishing with Bayou Bow Fishing Charters and a special guest, Miss Louisiana.
This was very difficult. I mean, you had to kind of
gauge where they were in the water and make those adjustments on site while the fish is still moving. So it's definitely a sport, and I credit a lot of the people who are very, very good at it, because it took me a lot of missing to learn how to do it well.
You know, Martha, some of the most enjoyable trips we do are the hunt and fish of a lifetime trips. And for some reason, they always seem to just fall into place. This year was no exception. And the one I really enjoyed going on was the one where this little guy said, I want to put him on the wall.
I'm Dustin Horton, and this is Lucas Horton. We're from Elk River, Minnesota. We got plenty of opportunity today. That's definitely something that we're not used to, is it?
He's anxious.
That was awesome. That thing was huge. I loved it.
And that young man today had his hands full. Every fishing card. This is the fish of a lifetime. Oh my gosh, this is the fish of a lifetime. Oh no, here comes another one.
Lucas, and this is my fish of a lifetime.
Yeah, you're right, little buddy.
And you know, some of these kids, they just have such challenging lives, and they're not really held back. Every way we find a way to make their dream come true. I remember taking a young man from up north. He wanted to go catch a swordfish, and by golly, we sure did. Now, watch, you might jump. Keep reeling. You keep reeling. There it is. There it is. It's a sword. Woo! Keep reeling. Keep reeling.
I would say hunt of a lifetime would be a stress-free hunt of a lifetime. I mean, it's in the name. I mean, it's incredible. They did it all for us. You don't have to worry about anything.
So we got 2 bites in the first hour of fishing, which is a good day. And we came for what we were after. We got a sword, feisty little fella, and we're gonna take it in now.
Today, we, for the first time in Louisiana, went out there and harvested apple snail.
Here's an apple snail, and they will lay this little pocket of eggs. They eat the vegetation again, and they are everywhere, as you can see. And the protein is really good, by the way. This is natural protein. We're going to show you later on what we can do with the apple snail. I like the way they close up when you catch them. This is too small. Oh Lord, it's this one. Yeah. Can't beat them, eat them. It really is about showing folks how to harvest invasive species, which is pretty easy, and most importantly, how to cook them. From the invasive apple snail to the gourmet apple snail. Here you go, an idea. Save the ecosystem. Can't beat them, eat them.
You know, as sportsmen, we see it with our own eyes. We see the erosion, we see the saltwater intrusion, and I think more sportsmen need to get involved because we know what's at stake. We know what we're losing.
And the whole thing is stabilizing this coast, and the beach rim gets reestablished, and so it makes elevation, and so you're building, restoring a chenier back to give you that first line of defense. That's how we can manage this habitat the way it is so it doesn't change or degrades or even gets lost.
There you go. It's one of those Cameron Parish redfish. Get ready to dress him up with a tag and track him. If you catch him, let me know. If you're lucky enough to bag a deer or a hog this season, bring it here to Double D.
Double D processes hogs and exotic game and guarantees your product is always the meat you brought to Double D.
Double D Meats in Bogalusa, home of country smoked, spicy jalapeno cheddar, and other customized flavors.
Bring your deer or your hog here to Double D, where you always get your meat back in return. It's worth a drive to Bogalusa from anywhere. Double D.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
We're in our new season of Bayou Wild TV, and that means new merchandise. Head on over to BayouWildTV.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and performance shirts, featuring scenes taken directly from our shows.
Welcome to White Oak Estate and Gardens, home of my distillery on Jones Creek. In the grist mill, corn is ground, then poured into the copper stills, filled with water and yeast added. Days later, still water bourbon is placed into charred oak barrels where it ages. Likewise, raw brown sugar and water blend to create our still water rum. Purchase these boutique vintages beginning December the 1st, exclusively at White Oak.
Holidays are time for family gatherings and family feasts. King Cooker has everything from complete turkey frying cookers that can handle up to a 20-pound turkey and all the accessories to King Cooker's own Cajun seasonings and injectors to make your holiday bird the life of the party. Find a retailer near you or go to kingcookerwithak.com and use discount code DDKK23 and save on your King Cooker turkey fryer. That's kingcooker.com, discount code DDKK23.
'Twas the day after Christmas when all through the marsh the tide was so low even a coon couldn't wash. The poles were all rigged and baited with care, in hopes that the big fish would soon be there. The captain was ready to make a long cast, when a red-dressed fisherman pulled close and passed. A little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. Now his job was all true, this was his time to fish. Did he know how to angle, or was this just a wish? He looked like a peddler reaching into his pack, and came out with a bait no fish would attack. He might know reindeer, but not fish, this elf, and we laughed when we saw him in spite of ourselves. He spoke not a word and went straight to his work, flipped out a lure and set the hook with a jerk. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a slimy and shaking big fish over there. And he cast and he reeled and he reeled and he cast, and the fish piled up unbelievably fast. He caught reds, he caught flounder, he caught drum and speckled trout. He caught bass, he caught snapper, and fish I know nothing about. It took him no time to fill up his chest, and I heard him say something about a whole year to rest. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight,
"Just one last cast, just one last bite." Ooh, oh, oh, here we go.
Thanks for watching Bayou Wild TV. It's been another wonderful year, and we'd like to thank all of you for sticking with us on all of our adventures.
And check us out for 2024, a whole new set of adventures that express a whole new set of adventures with sportsmanship, heritage, and from the top. Adventure, sportsmanship.
You did it backwards, so my
and
brain froze. All right. Thanks for sticking with Bayou Wild. Thanks again for watching Bayou Wild TV. You know, the end of the year has come again, and we're heading into another one with a lot of great new material.
That's right. We'll have a lot of fresh new episodes coming up in 2024. Again, showing them the adventure, the sportsmanship, and
heritage
of Bayou Wild TV.
You can check us out online at BayouWildTV.com. Check us out on Instagram at Bayou Wild TV. Also on Facebook as well. You can see all kinds of things like live visits from White Oak Plantation, where we are right now, and all the adventures we go on across the country.
Bayou Wild TV was a creation of course, three people. Myself, Chris Lecoq, who is our producer, editor, and co-host Martha Spencer. And each of us contributes something to it. And our logo, our slogan kind of says it all. Sportsmanship, adventure, and heritage.
I love living in Louisiana because the whole Cajun culture is just based around being outside. People in Louisiana take pride in living off the land, and that goes back into family heritage, cooking, survival. With Bayou Wild, we've been able to not only do all these activities, but also see some of the history behind them.
Well, video gets more competitive every single day because everybody out there can take a video with their phone, they can use a GoPro. Video is becoming much more consumer and not professional anymore. So I'm always trying to challenge myself with thinking of different ways to set myself apart from just anybody else who can pick up a camera, shoot a video, and put it on YouTube.
Look, CCA Louisiana has been a sponsor of the Bayou Wild show, but mainly it's a partnership. Between Don, Martha, Chris, the whole team, they're great promoters of what we do because they believe in it. They're engaged, they know what they're doing, and they know how to get the message across.
There's a lot of fabulous chefs and cooks and home cooks in Louisiana that inspire me every single day. But the topics I speak about, the ingredients and the recipes, the stories I tell, come from people like Don Dubuque and all of those wonderful people I've met along the way. I didn't come up with them myself. You might want to take a piece of that.
Well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Whoa! Drive by. Whether it's been an excursion to another state or at home, it shows me why people like to come to Louisiana. The things that we do for fun are literally bucket list trips for other people.
And so I guess that's where I find my inspiration. I'm always trying to push myself further than I did before. So I'm always trying to maybe raise the bar for the story that I'm trying to tell through video.
But really what we're showcasing is the culture, the heritage, the people, and the resources of Louisiana and the Gulf Coast.